All right, in this lesson on 8.3, we are going to be working on simplifying our fractions. In doing so, that is writing a fraction in simplest form. So a fraction written in simplest form is when the greatest common factor in the numerator and the denominator is 1. So they share no other common factors. The only common factor is 1. It's in simplest form. Now, the simplest form of a fraction is one of its many equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are fractions that have the same number. They have the same value. So, our first example, Angie has a vertical jump height of 12 inches, and Holly has a vertical jump of 22 inches. So, Angie's vertical jump is 12/22 of the vertical jump of Holly. So, we're going to write the fraction in simplest form. Now, our first step is to list out our factors, and they've done this for us with a beautiful rainbow factor tree, or rainbow. Oh, let's not do it like that. Let's get rid of our shape drawing. That 1 and 12 make 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4 make 12, just like 1 and 22, and 2 and 11. So we need to identify what the greatest common factor is. Well, they share a 1, but 2 is the greatest one. So the greatest common factor of 12 and 22 is 2. So now we need to factor that out. Factoring out, we talked about this, and we are going to divide each one of those by 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. 22 divided by 2 is 11. Now, I hope you see this nice little 1 shape that they have here. Because when we divide by 2 over 2, that is actually like saying we are simply dividing by 1. And anything divided by 1 is itself. It has the same value. We're just writing it in a different way. So 2 over 2 is equal to 1. And so we're not changing the value. We're just changing how it looks. Just like 50 cents is the same as 5 dimes or 50 pennies. So we're just writing it in a different way, but it has the same value. So the greatest common factor of 6 and 11, well, 6 and 11 is 1. So we can't simplify anything else out. It is in simplest form. So the Angie's vertical jump is 6/11ths of Holly's vertical jump. Now we could do this also using a visual model and say, well, I'm going to shade 12 out of 22 and say, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So now I need to look at this and shade 6 out of the 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, they are the exact same value in how many they are out of each other, or they represent the same value, even though we write them in different fractions. So they are equivalent. And now they are in simplest form. All right, let's do a second example here. 18/30ths, write it in simplest form. So my first look at it is what common factors do 18 or does 18 and 30 share? Well, I see they are both even. So I'm going to factor out a 2. And again, we're really factoring a 2 out of both the numerator and the denominator. Whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So I'm left with 9/15ths. Except I hope you are noticing that 9 and 15 both share a common factor of 3. Again, I'm going to factor a 3 out from each. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So simplifying 18/30ths can be written in simplest form as 3/5. Now, looking at the two of these numbers here, 2 and 3, I could have simply divided each by 6 from the beginning. Let's look at that real fast. So 18/30ths, if I factored out a 6 from each, 18 divided by 6 is 3, 30 divided by 6 is 5. Well, guess what? That is exactly what we did here. So if you can find the greatest common factor, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, If you can find the greatest common factor between the two numbers and factor that out, it will save you multiple steps later on. All right, let's do another here. So 4, 6, looking at what common factor they share. Well, they share a 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 4 6 in simplest form is 2/3. 2/12, well, they each share a common factor of 2. So I divide each numerator and denominator by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 2/12 is the same as 1/6. Let's look at a few more of these. If you are needing it, follow along. If you feel like you are ready to do this on your own, move on down to the homework page and start in on finishing the homework page. There is simply a total of 7 problems that you are simplifying. If you need a little bit more help, keep on following. I'll do a few more examples before I'll let you work on your own. All right. So now, if I have 6/8, I'm going to look at, well, what common factor they have. Well, I see that 6 and 8 each share a common factor of 2. They're both even numbers. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 3/4 is its simplest form. Let's go down to 2/5. Let's drop down. We'll just go vertically down. So 2 and 5, 2/5. If I look at our common factors, well, 2 can only be made up of 1 and 2. 5 can only be made up of 1 and 5. So the only common factor that 2 and 5 have is 1. So this is already simplified. And let's look down to 6/25. Well, 6/25, 6 and 25. 6 can be made up of 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. 25 is 1 and 25, and 5. 5 and 5. So the only common factor they share is, again, 1. So these are simplified. And let's look at 10. That'll be a good one. So 21/30. Well, 21 over 30, I see that, our divisibility rules, remember, add the digits to C if it's divisible by 3. Well, 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 and 0 is 3, so 21 must be a multiple of 3. You should see that. I'm going to divide 21 by 3, and I get 7. 30 divided by 3 is 10. I have 7/10. Can I simplify that? Nope. So the answer is 7/10. All right. I'll let you go ahead and get started in on the practice on the homework page. Let me know if you have any questions.